This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, let's see. I have record and I'm going to get rid of me.
Are we recording?
We are recording.
Thank you. That would have been good to know. Hi, I'm Jolisa Stewart, EPT practitioner. I'm a for the master's program. I've been an EPT practitioner since 2007. And EPT stands for Emotional Polarity Technique. It's a holistic emotional healthcare platform. We typically see clients in person, but with COVID, we are seeing and practicing and promoting online video sessions. So today I'm going to be working with Megan. And Megan, do we have permission to record today?
Yes, you have permission.
Okay. How did you hear about EPT?
From my mother, actually. She was telling me about it. And I have a friend who sees a craniotherapist who practices some energy healing. So what she was, I know it's a little different, but she was telling me, and then my mom was telling me, and I thought it was interesting, and I wanted to come check it out for myself.
I like to describe EPT as kind of energy psychology. It's an easy 4-step process. We focus on whatever you would like to relieve or achieve for you personally. We find it using a pegboard and muscle testing or kinesiology. We fix it. We do a little body work with magnets, and then our key component is forgiveness. Forgiveness is what makes the shift happen faster and gets you healing and moving forward in whatever you would like to relieve or achieve. So often people feel better in just one session, but we do recommend 7 sessions. It's kind of the theory. If you go on a diet, you're going to eat more than 1 salad to get to your goal weight. So
Right.
Although you're going to feel much better today after our session, if you were to purchase a 7-session package, what we would do is together create a healing map and goals for you, and then move forward from there.
Okay.
All righty.
Yes.
So what would you like to work on today? Do you have a topic?
I think I have a lot of, I still am working through some emotional trauma, I think, from childhood, from a lot of verbal abuse from within the family home.
Okay. And what other types of therapy have you tried? Any?
Well, yeah, I did see a regular therapist for a while, and I did try the prescription medication route, which it wasn't for me. And I have tried a naturopath before when I was a teenager, which did really work, but they're very expensive. So it's just, at the time, my parents couldn't keep up with that form of treatment. And now I do a lot of things like breathing exercises and some yoga, and I try to, I eat really healthy and just try to do like that kind of stuff, but it's not enough, and I still have a lot of anxiety, which I think stems from just I guess how I value myself because of the words that were spoken to me as a child, I guess.
Sure. Well, you're a perfect client for EPT because it gets you to where you want to be much faster than talk therapy, and we don't try to mask it over with drugs, but we are compatible with any physician program or protocol.
Okay.
All righty.
Yes.
So the first thing we'd like to do is balance left and right hemisphere of the brain. I know you don't have any magnets today, but we normally work with magnets, and I have my pretend magnets.
Okay.
So I'm just going to put the magnets on the sides of my head, and I'm just going to ask you to follow suit. So we're just
Okay.
going to squeeze your head 3 times upon inhalation. Ready, breathe. And exhale again. Again. All right, now I want you to put your pointer finger between your eyebrows. So point your finger between your eyebrows, and your other hand, point your finger between your occipital bone where it dips in the back.
Okay.
And you're going to lift both at the same time as we breathe on inhalation again. Ready? Breathe. Thank you. Again. And again. Great. That's just a little body work to get both sides of the brain functioning at the same level.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to muscle test this way. All right. So could you say your name for me, Megan?
Megan McElwee.
And say my name. My name is Elsa.
My name is Elsa.
Say my name is Megan again for me.
My name is Megan.
And do we have permission to work together today, Megan?
Yes, I give you permission.
Thank you. So I want you to think of your topic, and it's emotional abuse as a child and anxiety, and repeat after me. I can show up.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, just repeat after me, please. I can show up.
I can show up.
I can pay attention.
I can pay attention.
I can tell the truth.
I can tell the truth.
And I can let go.
And I can let go.
So those phrases I was muscle testing to see if you were congruent with all of those statements. I want to make sure you're in your body. I want to make sure you can focus and pay attention. I want to make sure you or any part of your subconscious is telling the truth and letting go.
Okay.
Okay, it's just a starting point. That's how we start each and every session.
Okay.
All right, so the next thing I'm going to do as you're thinking about your childhood abuse is ask the units of distress. On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you say your distress falls, 10 being the highest?
Currently, I'm pretty much always stressed. I would say probably a 9.
Okay. So when we're finished, I'm going to ask you again, and that's just a way we gauged how much progress we made.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And next, I'm going to ask stage of healing for this topic. There are 7 stages, and I'm muscle testing as I'm saying the words. So in regards to this session, denial, anger, bargain, depression. And if I'm not talking, I'm just muscle testing a few things on my pegboard or my flow chart. When we start out a session, we muscle test. We find out the players involved. So I'm asking in regards to this, is it you? Is it friend or is it family? Is it original family? Is it parent? Is it male or female? So it's male. And then I ask, is it mom? And was there a stepmom or another mother figure besides your mom?
Yes, when I was a child. Yes. Grandmother, a great grandmother, I considered like a second mom, who basically watched me until I was school aged, while my mom went to school and my parents both worked. The abuse, the verbal abuse, stems from my father and my little brother.
Okay. All right, so next I'm looking for an emotion. I'm going to look for an emotion in your body. That's where we store emotions. In addition to our brain, we store them in our body. So that's what I'm going to look for next. And then we're going to do some body work with the magnets to release that.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm muscle testing liver, anchor. So liver T strong. And then I go down my chart and muscle test the emotions, and anger appears. Then I'm going to ask for another emotion and where it is stored. And I get heart and lost and vulnerable. And I'm just writing this down as I go. I'm going to muscle test, is there another emotion? No, so I have two emotions with this picture. Okay, so I'm creating a word picture. I'm creating a word picture to go off of, okay? So
Okay.
it reads, I feel my mom's anger and feelings of loss and vulnerability with my dad because, and then I'm going to ask you to help me fill in that blank. So when you're thinking about your, this situation, your abuse as a child, you're harboring feelings. I feel my mom's anger and lost and vulnerable with my dad because.
Well, he was never really around, I guess, or loving. Basically, he felt like, as I perceive it, he worked and brought home money, and that's all that his responsibility was. And that it was really hard for her. And I guess I might have been obviously picked up on her anger, I guess.
Okay. So another thing we muscle test is there an original event or original age where this or something similar occurred? So when I muscle test the age, it's on or about age 7 for you. So did something significant happen in the household or with mom and dad on or around age 7?
Not that I can remember. Nothing that vividly comes to mind, so I'm guessing it's something that's subconscious.
Sure, that's fine. So you might remember something during the session, or you might remember it next week, like, oh, I remember what happened when I was 7. Now I know why that was significant. So when people can't really remember, I just help them trigger their memory. Maybe like at age 7, you were starting kindergarten. That's where you would have been, kindergarten, first grade, where you would have been in your life. Sometimes the birth of a sibling, you can remember, maybe that was at age 7, or maybe even a move, like maybe you moved.
My brother's only 2 years younger than me, so and my mom's tubes were tied after my brother was born, so no siblings. We didn't move until I was older. I was around 12 when they bought the farm. So that it wasn't that. The only thing maybe I could think of is that I probably was in first grade, and my mom, I guess, had gone back to work or something, because there was like a switch when my dad started taking care of us in the morning and getting us off to school, and also getting us off the bus. And I remember a lot, like, he wouldn't cook dinner, so we would go out to eat all the time. And my mom, she wouldn't get home until later, because she was, I think, traveling for work, maybe to like Pennsylvania back then or something.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't really remember anything unusual.
And how did Dad feel about having to help out more when, after, thinking his job was to work and bring home the money?
He never shared it with me, but I don't think he was happy about it. He basically did bare minimum.
Got ya. Okay. All right. Well, I have some things to go on.
Okay.
So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to clear out this anger that's being stored in the liver. The story reads, I feel like right now, I feel mom's anger with Dad. And is she mad at him right now for something?
Not that we shared, but maybe some mismatch of finances. I don't know for sure. That would be speculation.
Okay. Well, so oftentimes something happens in the now that triggers somebody to act a certain way, or all of a sudden be depressed, or have a reoccurring illness start that happened in the past. So we're just going to focus on you at age 7 as the now and the then.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you, we're going to do, so I usually use magnets, but we're going to use our hands. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to take your left palm and place it over your lower rib cage, about where your liver would be.
Okay.
On the crossbody. Okay, you're good.
The right side.
Wherever the liver is. Liver's on the opposite side of your heart. I'm looking at you backwards.
I'm not really sure. I think the heart's on the left side, right?
Yeah, that's your heart. So you're good, liver. Okay, and your other hand's going to go on your forehead.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, and so we're going to take 3 deep breaths as you think of your mom's anger. How angry must your mom have been when you were 7 at your dad? Okay, so 3 deep breaths. Ready? All right. May take your hands down. Next, we're going to go ahead and clear the heart. So just cover your heart. And this is going to be feeling lost and vulnerable. Your mom's out there, she has a job that she has to travel, be away from her kids to contribute to the family and self-fulfilling probably, and she can't be home to do the job the way she wants it done. And I think she probably feels like maybe dad's not doing the job she would do.
Yeah.
Okay. So on your forehead, ready, breathe. All right, take your hands down. All right, so now I'm going to say a statement and you're going to repeat it.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is do it in the space of you as 7.
Okay.
Okay, so I will remind you. All right.
Okay.
All right. So you're gonna, I'm gonna say a phrase, you're gonna say a phrase, and then you're gonna take a deep breath.
Okay.
Okay. I forgive myself for believing
I forgive myself for believing
I have to hang on to this
I have to hang on to this
anxiety
anxiety
from the abuse of my childhood.
from the abuse of my childhood.
Mhm. Okay, Megan, there are 2 fear release points right here under your collarbone.
Okay.
Yep. You got the 2 knots on your collarbone, go down about 1 inch. You can hold those and rub them a little bit, and that helps move the energy along and release.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Not a necessity, it's just a benefit.
Okay.
All right. I forgive myself for believing
I forgive myself for believing
I have to hang on to this anxiety
I have to hang on to this anxiety
from my childhood.
from my childhood.
Take a deep breath. I forgive myself for believing
I forgive myself for believing
I have to stay a stuck 7-year-old.
I have to stay a
Stuck is
stuck 7-year-old
full of anxiety
full of anxiety
from my childhood.
from my childhood.
Take a deep breath. I forgive myself for believing
I forgive myself for believing
that I have to hang on to these emotions of anger
that I have to hang on to these emotions of anger
and feeling lost and vulnerable,
and feeling lost and vulnerable,
just like my mom did
just like my mom did
when she was 7, or when I was 7.
when I was 7.
Take a deep breath. I forgive my dad
I forgive my dad
for believing his only job
for believing his only job
was to bring home the money.
was to bring home the money.
And that's where his job left off.
And that's where his job left off.
Take a deep breath. I forgive my dad
I forgive my dad
for taking out his frustration
for taking out his frustration
over my mom not being home
over my mom not being home
to take care of us children,
to take care of us children,
on us kids,
on us kids,
by being verbally and emotionally abusive.
by being verbally and emotionally abusive.
I forgive my dad's abuse
I forgive my dad's abuse
because he was angry at my mom,
because he was angry at my mom,
because she went out and got a job
because she went out and got a job
and left him home
and left him home
with more responsibility
with more responsibility
than he thought he should have.
than he thought he should have.
Take a deep breath. I forgive my mom
I forgive my mom
for going out and getting a job
for going out and getting a job
and leaving dad home
and leaving dad home
to take care of us
to take care of us
when I much rather would have had her
when I much rather would have had her
to take care of us instead of my dad
to take care of us instead of my dad
because he wasn't very nice.
because he wasn't very nice.
And he left me feeling depressed and anxious.
And he left me feeling depressed and anxious.
Take a deep breath. I say yes to this anger
Hold on, sweetie. I'm in a meeting, okay? Okay, thank you. Sorry.
You're fine. No worries.
I release this anger
That I store on behalf of my mom,
that I store on behalf of my mom,
her anger
her anger
at my dad
at my dad,
and his treatment of us
and his treatment of us
while she's away at work
while she's away at work
to benefit the family.
to benefit the family.
This anger
This anger
and feeling lost and vulnerable.
and feeling lost and vulnerable.
Take a deep breath. I release this anger
I release this anger
and lost and vulnerability
and lost in vulnerability
on behalf of my mom
on behalf of my mom
and myself
and myself
so I can move forward,
so I can move forward,
leaving this anxiety and depression behind.
leaving this anxiety and depression behind.
Take a deep breath. Take another deep breath as that releases. I say yes to this anger and lost and vulnerability
I say yes to this anger and lost vulnerability
that I have stored
that I've stored
on behalf of my mom
on behalf of my mom
since age 7.
since age 7.
I call it up out of my mind, body, and spirit
I call it up out of my mind, body, and spirit
and release it to divine love and gratitude.
and release it to divine love and gratitude.
And take a deep breath. Excuse me, take another deep breath. Without this anger,
Without this anger,
I can open up space for love, forgiveness, and happiness
I can open up space for love, forgiveness, and happiness
on behalf of myself and my 7-year-old.
on behalf of myself and my 7-year-old.
Take a deep breath. Without this feeling of lost and vulnerable,
Without this feeling of lost and vulnerable,
my 7-year-old and I can feel safe, secure, and complete.
my 7-year-old self can feel safe, secure, and complete.
Even when my mom isn't home to take care of me.
Even when my mom isn't home to take care of me.
Even when my dad is home to take care of me.
Even when my dad is home to take care of me.
I release this issue from age 7
I released this issue from age 7
to divine love and gratitude.
to divine love and gratitude.
Take a deep breath. I forgive my dad
I forgive my dad
and my brother
and my brother
for being emotionally and verbally abusive.
for being emotionally and verbally abusive.
Take a deep breath. I forgive myself
I forgive myself
for hanging on to this since age 7.
for hanging on to this since age 7.
Take a deep breath. I give my 7-year-old self permission to know
I give my 7-year-old self permission to know
that if I would have been there, I would have helped you.
that if I would have been there, I would have helped you.
But I'm here now
But I'm here now,
and you're safe.
and you're safe.
And nobody will ever hurt your 7-year-old self again.
And nobody will ever hurt my 7-year-old self again.
Take a deep breath. I give my 7-year-old self permission to forgive her dad.
I give my 7-year-old self permission to forgive her dad.
Dads do silly things
Dads do silly things
when they're angry at moms.
when they're angry at moms.
And he probably didn't know he was hurting me.
And he probably didn't know he was hurting me.
He was just expressing his anger at mom.
He was just expressing his anger at mom.
Or having to do more than earn the money.
For having to do more than earn money.
And I forgive him for hurting me.
And I forgive him for hurting me.
Take a deep breath. I forgive myself
I forgive myself
for any time I caused someone to feel the exact same way as I felt.
for every time I have caused someone to feel the same exact way I felt.
Mm-hmm. Take a deep breath. I give those people permission to forgive me.
I give those people for permission to forgive me.
For causing them to feel the exact same way I did.
For causing them to feel the exact same way I did.
Knowingly or unknowingly.
Knowingly or unknowingly.
Mm-hmm. Take a deep breath. Take another deep breath. Okay, so I'm muscle testing. Where else do we need to add some forgiveness? So I would like to say some forgiveness for grandma, but I don't know why you would want to forgive grandma. So the phrase would go, I forgive grandma for, or I forgive grandma because.
I forgive Grandma for trying to control everything and manipulate situations by trying to play the puppet master.
So would she maybe try to get dad to do more or make mom feel bad for working?
Both.
Okay.
Well, not necessarily try to get dad to do more with us, but just try to get him to do more for her. And it's a very long line of abuse. So
Sure. So is this grandma dad's mom?
Yes, this is Dad's mom. Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. So I say yes
I say yes
to this energetic stronghold in our family
to this energetic stronghold in our family
of abuse
of abuse
and manipulation.
and manipulation,
Going back many lines in our heritage.
going back many lines in our heritage.
I acknowledge this abuse
I acknowledge this abuse
and puppet master manipulation.
and puppet master manipulation.
So we're acknowledging it. And we're releasing it from our body, mind, and spirit.
I'm acknowledging it and releasing it from my mind, body, and spirit.
Take a deep breath. So as we're acknowledging a behavior or an inner or stronghold in your family, it's like turning on a light in a dark room where it's hiding. It's like calling it out. So we're acknowledging it, and now we can see it. Even though you knew it was there all along, now we're just saying, I see you, and you can't hide anymore.
Okay.
Because we're gonna do something about it.
Okay.
And so it loses its power. All right.
Okay.
All right. Take another deep breath for me. All right. I'm gonna test some stage of healing. We started in depression, so I'm gonna make sure we continued moving towards the right way, and we did backtrack a little bit. So denial, anger, bargain, depression, acceptance. So that's great. We've moved from depression to acceptance, where we can at least see it for what it is and work through it instead of maybe wallowing in it.
Okay.
Okay. So before we kind of gauged 1 to 10, how you felt, 10 being pretty bad, if you had to re-gauge it, how would you feel now? I think you said you started at about a 9.
Yeah. Just over that situation or my whole life?
Yes. Over that situation or the physical way you were feeling before we started and now how you feel now.
My phone.
Yeah.
I feel much better about it. I think, yeah, for sure. I feel more in control.
How do you feel anxiety-wise right now?
Anxiety, maybe right now, maybe like a 4. I'm still a little antsy.
Sure.
Typically, I feel antsy.
Yeah, I'd like to say a few more statements on the how far back the abuse goes as an energy stronghold.
Okay.
Okay, throughout your generations. So repeat after me.
Okay.
I forgive myself for believing
I forgive myself for believing
that letting go of my family's generational stronghold
that letting go of my family's generational stronghold
of abuse
of abuse
would be very bad for me or my family.
would be very bad for me or my family.
Take a deep breath. I forgive the generations before me
I forgive the generations before me
of their hidden and open abuse
of their hidden and open abuse
and stronghold to the abuse.
and stronghold to the abuse.
Take a deep breath. I forgive the generations before me
I forgive the generations before me
for holding on to the pain of past abuse
for holding on to the pain of past abuse
that no longer exists in them or me.
that no longer exists in them or me.
Take a deep breath. I give the generations before me
I give the generations before me
permission to accept
permission to accept
that I have changed,
that I have changed,
and now they are free to change as well.
and now they are free to change as well.
Take a deep breath. Okay. I think we'll stop there today. I hear some antsy children in the back,
Yeah. Yep.
which is totally fine. I'm going to check your stage of healing one more time.
Okay.
I want you to think about emotional and verbal abuse as a child and your anxiety. Take a deep breath for me. Great. As I test, we started from depression and then we moved to acceptance. And now we're moving into light emerging, which is really good. It's really on the path to healing and moving forward.
Okay.
So I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you.
You're welcome. As I said before, one salad doesn't get you to your beach bod. I would recommend continuing on this healing path for optimal success.
Okay.
It's been a pleasure working with you today, and I'm happy to work with you in the future, as I know any of our EPT practitioners would be.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Ooh,
Yes.
that was a great session. I'm just popping here, and if anybody, and you know what, Megan, you're welcome to come on to any of these and watch other people get this work done as well. We're
Thank you.
happy. We're really happy that we were able to get you in. That's crazy. We needed you today because
Yeah.
we didn't have anyone else we could have like stuck in that place. So
Are we going to stop the recording?
yes, I'm going to stop the recording. Why are
Okay.
you like, I'm done with the recording already? Stop it. It kind of, yeah. Okay, I think I'm stopped on my recording. An organizer.
I'm not stopped on my recording.
Oh, you recorded it too?
No, it still says
Okay, let me see here.
an organizer is recording. It might be me.
Yeah, that's not me.
I don't know how to
Okay.
turn it off.
So
Oh, it's
my,
gone. It's gone.
okay, my recording is over. And then I pop everybody up here in case anybody has any questions, or Megan, if you have any questions, we'll make sure we email you a copy of this session and a copy of the transcript.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And that was great, Jolisa. You did a great job.
Thank you.
And
Thank
you know
you.
what? I'm thinking Megan did not expect something like at age 7 to be the root of where she was coming from. Other than those
I did not expect it. I didn't expect it to be around age 7, that's for sure. I thought it would be a different age.
Yeah.
I honestly, I thought it would be much sooner than 7.
Wow. Well, and you may have been more stressed at 7 because you didn't have mom there to support you.
Yeah.
That's just the age and the topic that needed to appear first to get to the next layers.
Yep.
Yeah. Like
But
peeling an onion.
yes, but you know what? You will notice that that you're different. That one session, you will notice that some of your reactions and stuff are a little bit different, where you go, wait a minute, I usually feel bad there and I'm not feeling that way. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
you will notice. Yeah, that was a big session. I don't have any doubt that you'll see changes that are big. So anyway, I'm looking to see everybody stayed on that was here pretty much. And let's see, the next time we do this is on Friday at 1 o'clock. So it's yeah, we send out an email and we also have it on the Facebook page that is the EPT Works Facebook page, right? Page, is that where it
Yeah.
is? Where we're having them. If you go to the Facebook page that's called EPT Works, and you're also invited to join a page called Integrative Emotional Healthcare, EPT
Okay.
Works, where we actually have conversations. We also post like things like this on there as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
usually the links in the like the meeting link I pop up like usually the first like 30 minutes before it starts. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, I'm going to tell you, we usually give people like this little brochure, but I'm going to tell you that, sometimes people will notice a continued release of emotions. Sometimes they're tired. Sometimes they're thirsty. So make sure you drink plenty of water. Sometimes they're hungry. And then the other thing that happens is they sometimes notice a realization of patterns in their life that have been uncovered and that they kind of go, wow, and they start connecting the dots. So that's kind of the thing that people expect after an EPT session. And since you've never had one, I just thought I'd tell you. So
Thank you.
anyway, now you can say, I had one. So anyway, I think the closest, how far are you from Somerville?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm in Charlotte. I'm not really sure how far Somerville is from Charlotte.
So you might be near Wilmington?
It's about
No.
4 hours from me. Yeah.
Yeah, forget it.
It's
There's
just like, you don't know your geography, Mom.
No. Well, I'm thinking, I know there's
I'd
somebody
like to
in
live on the
Wilmington.
coast again.
Yeah, there's somebody in Wilmington and there's people in Charleston. So I was thinking, like, is there
Oh.
anybody? We don't have anybody in Charlotte, Megan. So you would
My
have to
mom
do.
was telling me had like a course or something for teaching people how to do this.
Yes.
Where can I find that information?
That information you can find on eptworks.com. So
Okay,
if you
cool.
just go there,
Definitely like to,
and
look
yeah,
into
so
that.
I have 2 professional programs, and I have a for people who just want to take and learn how to do this because they want to work on their family, or they're not thinking they want to do it as a business. So
Great.
I have that offer too.
Okay, cool.
So,
Perfect. Thank you.
and what was I going to say? Oh, I have a 1-day class called Change for Good, and if you end up on our email, you'll get a notice of that, and I actually do it remotely as well as in person. So we
Okay.
actually videotape the training when it's on. It's like a 5-hour training that I talk about all the steps and exactly what we do, so people can understand, why does this work?
Yeah, I'm
So
interested.
so I do that, and that class is called Change for Good. And I was like doing tons of them there. I had like 6 done already, and then COVID hit and all my breaks went on.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I actually did 2 of those trainings in Charleston in the last lesson. I did it one in February, I think, and one last September, or October, anyway, somewhere. So the next one I have is in Dayton, Ohio, and it's in the
Okay.
middle of June, unless somebody says no more gatherings. I don't know. So anyway, but I'm thinking I'm going to put that on an online format that's a lot more, that can be more fun than just watching me videotaped in a seminar. So
Okay.
but anyway,
All
so
right.
that's what we've got. If you go to eptworks.com, you'll see lots of stuff. Look for us on Facebook. If you jump into Integrative Emotional Healthcare, EPT Works, that's our Facebook page. And I have lots
Okay.
of podcasts that are free. And the Forgiveness Doctor is on Amazon. So
All right, thank you.
anyway, you're welcome. Thanks, everybody. Wow, we pulled this out, and it was only 7 minutes later, or no? Did we start at 1:30? Yeah, we were only 7 minutes over. That's fantastic.
Oh, 7 minutes over. Yeah, not bad. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did good, even though we were late.
Jolisa finished right on time.
That's right. That's right. We try to, like, so people don't feel like this is the Zoom call that will never end.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you, Jolisa. That was awesome.
You're
Thank
welcome. I enjoyed
Bonnie
it.
for coming. Thank you, Megan.
Yes, thank you.
Wonderful meeting you, and I hope that you have wonderful changes for
Thank
now.
you.
Forgiveness. All right.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I never know how to go away. It's gonna close it.